Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So, unfortunately, the new year has been kicked off with some awful mess, y'all. Anyways, but there's a Twitch streamer who goes by the name of Kai. I think Cenat is how you pronounce the last name. I'm not entirely sure. But a streamer by the name of Kai who had a New Year's Eve party that he threw, and he invited some people he knew, I guess some new people he had just met. He invited them to this party, and unfortunately, this young woman, who's on the internet, I guess she's kind of like an internet person by the name of Jovi, she was invited to the party, and usually at parties like these, people get drunk. According to her, as you can see, she said that she was drunk, and they probably all knew that too. And according to her, she decided she wanted to leave, and he advised her to go upstairs and lay down in one of the bedrooms. She asked him, okay, was it safe for me to do that? Do you have, security? And because he said, yeah, you should be fine up there, and that he had security, she took him up on that. And unfortunately, she woke up allegedly to being assaulted by one of the young men he invited to the party that he is very familiar with, that he said out of his own mouth that he went to school with, that he was friends with. And she had tried to get in contact with him to try and explain what happened. She was saying that he would not take any of her calls. He would not contact her back. Now, he did do a video saying that the reason why he didn't contact her back, according to him, allegedly, was because whenever he first found out, which wasn't too far off after it happened, that he had went to his legal team, and his legal team told him not to say anything about it, and that they have already an investigation being launched right now. And I'm still failing to kind of understand why they couldn't necessarily involve her. I get that they were his legal team, but why they couldn't involve her in what was going on. And of course, a lot of people were mad at her. There's people that were mad at her, and there's people that were mad at him. And they're trying to understand, well, why did you take it to social media? Now he looks bad, and he didn't even do anything. But let's break this down from all perspectives, okay? Now, like I said, he got on and he made a video, and he said that the only reason why I'm making this video now and I didn't make it sooner was because I talked to my legal team after I found out what happened, and they told me not to say anything yet, so I had to wait. But now they gave me the go-ahead to make this video and try to clear up the air some and whatnot, of course. Because like I said, a lot of people were dragging him, and his name was sinking under, And so they were saying, okay, here's my point in that. And I get it. People shouldn't be going in on him because he wasn't the one that was responsible, allegedly. And I have to say allegedly because of YouTube and, legal reasons. Although, at the same time, he invited them to that party. Now, I don't know if this was at like a house that he had, that he said it was in New York. I guess it was his house. I'm not sure. But when you invite people to your house, or you are having some kind of party, or you're the host, in a way, you are responsible for the safety of those individuals. Like if you invite somebody to your house and then your house gets shot up because somebody, is after you, or you're in a bad neighborhood, you're responsible for their safety because you brought them there. You brought them there under the impression that they were in a safe environment, okay to do whatever it is that you brought them there for. You can say whatever you want to, but as the host and somebody who brought that young lady there or encouraged her to come there, he was responsible for making sure nothing happened. If you don't think that's the case, I feel sorry for anybody that goes to your house. But anyways, he was the host. He had her come up over there. He invited all these people. And another thing about that, people need to be mindful. Y'all need to be mindful of the company that you keep, of the people who you bring into your house, okay? Who you bring in your circle and in your space. Because you might think you know people, or you might think that you're friends with somebody, but some of these people, they're not good people, okay? And here you are inviting them around other people who are now being victimized, allegedly, by them and bringing them into your house. This young man, he's like, I think 20 years old, and he's making some pretty good money off of what he's doing. So he's got a good thing going for him. Now, understand, young people, like I said, you need to be mindful, and not just young people, everybody. Be mindful of who you have around you, who you invite around you, because not everybody that's coming around you is coming around you because they like you. They're there to help you. Some of these people are coming around to be your destruction or help take you down, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And you can say whatever you want to, but there's always people. Like, y'all understand, I always try to make it my point to open people's eyes, not to the natural part of this, but also the spiritual part. Like I said, you can say whatever you want to about me saying this, but the devil sends people to trip people up And it would be really sad to see his reputation go to the trash and him go broke because he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't using wisdom or any kind of intelligence or discernment whenever he invited people to his house. Because all these people on the internet that are dragging him, they don't care about his friend. They don't care about none of that. They care about it was you. You're the one with the fame. You're the one who invited them over there to the house. That's what a lot of people are looking at. Unfortunately. No, it's not his fault. Although he has some partial accountability, like I said, for not being mindful of the company he was keeping and who he was inviting around the people that he had at his house during that party. Now, like I said before, I'm glad that his legal team released him to go ahead and, say what he had to say and clear up his own name, because a lot of people were trying to say that they feel like he planned what allegedly happened to her. And like I said, I have to keep saying allegedly for legal reasons and because of YouTube. And from her perspective, like, I know that a lot of people, he has a lot of fans, and he even told his people in that stream that he put up in that video not to go harass that young lady because of her going to social media, because she probably felt like that was the only way she was going to get, any kind of justice, because she said she tried to get in contact with him. It's not like she knew that his legal team wouldn't let him speak to her before they went ahead and gave him, the go ahead to do it. The guy denied it when she first confronted him right after he allegedly did it, and basically I guess made her feel like she was stupid, and that he didn't do nothing wrong, and then she didn't feel like anybody was listening. Like I said, I'm breaking it down from all perspectives. She probably was thinking that nobody was listening and she couldn't get anybody's attention to get the justice that she needed, allegedly. And we shouldn't have to go through what somebody else has gone through to be able to see it from their perspective. Anybody with a brain that works and empathy should have been able to say, this young woman is like emotionally broken right now, psychologically, mentally broken, probably still in pain right now. And the only thing she could think of is how to get justice for herself, because it didn't seem like people were trying to help her. She couldn't get in contact with him to tell him what happened at his house at a party he invited her to. So that was probably the only option she felt like she had. Like, I'm the first person to say we shouldn't put everything on social media because it just gets completely blown out of proportion. But like I said, thinking from her perspective, that was probably the only thing she felt like she could do at the moment, which is what she did. And then the amount of backlash she got. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, ladies, anytime this kind of stuff happens, trust me, people are going to come out of the woodwork, especially the fans of the person involved on the other side, which is really messed up. But people have been saying all kinds of awful things to her about her. People who don't even know what's going on. They're not even involved in this situation. Calling her all kinds of B words and sluts and this is and that's. Talking about, oh, look how you're dressed in your profile picture, and you're going to come up here saying that this guy allegedly assaulted you, as if somebody dressed a certain way gives somebody the green light to do something like that, or somebody can't be assaulted just because they're dressed a certain way. They've been saying all kind of stuff, just disgusting stuff that I'm not putting on this channel. Y'all can go to Twitter and see it for yourselves, or somebody else might have a video about this out where they were, but that's usually what ends up happening. And it's sad that it's like that. There's a lot of women that are standing up for her and with her. But it's sad that people immediately, just because something has happened, they go all the way off left field. It's fine if you're his fan and you're like, I don't believe he had anything to do with that. Like, you can't just say that, like, he set it up, like, he's not like that. But at the same time, it's completely wrong and just disgusting to drag somebody for absolute filth and talk about them like a dog just because you don't agree with them because they said something about somebody who you like or you worship or you idolize. Now, I said a lot of allegedlys, okay? Now, that, like I said, because that's YouTube and, like I said, legal reasons. I'm going to keep saying it because I know somebody's probably going to get offended and be like, how dare you say allegedly? Why can't you just believe her when she said it? But anyways, I don't believe in victim blaming and victim shaming, although this is what I am going to say. Now, this is a sidebar from that situation. Ladies and gentlemen, men and women, understand something. Like, whenever you go out to a party, especially these kind of parties where there's going to be a lot of shady figures, there's going to be a lot of drinking, possibly some illegal substances involved. First of all, I wouldn't even advise you to go to those kind of parties. If you're going to go to a party, go somewhere where it's more upscale. You know what I'm saying? Like an upscale party that's more like at a restaurant, or if it's at somebody's house, it's not one of those parties where you get like drunk, where there's, like I said, substances being passed around. It's like an upscale party. Y'all hang out. Y'all might drink one or two things from a bottle that you opened, that you saw yourself open, not something that's poured into a punch bowl and mixed with God knows what. You eat some hors d'oeuvres, some cheese and crackers, a slice of pizza that you saw being unboxed. And then you go home after you done socialized and you had fun, you talked and you shared stories, and you go home. But if you still decide to go out to these kind of parties, there are some rules that you need to govern yourself by. Well, first of all, understand that a lot of these parties, especially with some of these celebrities and like these YouTubers and these streamers, some of them, I'm not saying all of them, but some of them, they hold these kind of parties to attract women so that they could sleep with women. These parties are usually calling cards for shady individuals who participate in shady activities, if you will. I'm not saying that he specifically did that for that reason. I'm saying some of these people out here do that to draw women to mess with them. So if you're going to still go to these parties, you need to govern yourself accordingly. You don't drink anything from anybody, because even closed bottles have been, there are ways to get, around that too. All right. You don't drink anything, especially if it's already been opened. If somebody hands you a bottle, throw it in the trash because they probably already opened it. And you definitely don't drink no jungle juice or no punch juice from no punch bowls, because like I said, it had probably been mixed with all kinds of whiskey and scotch and some of everything else. Just that alone could make you black out. Ain't no telling what else they didn't put in it. And God forbid, like I said, if there's any substances being passed around, you don't know what could be laced in that. Why would you partake? That's how a lot of people and celebrities, allegedly, them celebrities that were ODing on fentanyl, that's usually how they end up like that. Going to parties, hanging out with people, bad communication, not being mindful of who they're hanging around, and then they hit a blunt that was laced with something, and now they ain't here no more. If you go to these parties, don't eat or drink nothing, okay? I don't care if it's handed to you, like I said, even if it is a closed bottle of something or a can of something. Don't eat it. Don't drink it. I'll tell them, hey, I'll pack it to go. I'll put it in my purse and I'll drink it later, maybe. Or I'll eat it later, maybe. Don't eat nothing. Don't consume nothing. Go there, hang out, make some connections. Don't get caught anywhere with somebody that you didn't go there with, or you can't trust, or you just met, And then you, like I said, you hang out with the people you came there with, or if you didn't come there with nobody, then you need to be where everybody else is. Don't be off in some secluded area, like I said, with somebody you don't know. Be where everybody else is. And then once you're done talking, whatever, dancing, whatever, go back home. If you have been drinking, book an Uber. Don't trust anybody with your safety. And then sometimes, even with friends that you come with, sometimes they can't even be trusted. So you like I said, you got to really make sure you paying attention. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I said, there was a lot of people who drug him because of what happened to her. And there's a lot of women and men that are dragging her because, they're fans of him. And they're saying, well, hey, it's not his fault, But, this is not the first time that something like that has happened. And like I said, especially with like these YouTubers and these streamers, this is not the first time. And people have got to start, like I said, being more mindful of who they're inviting to their house, who they, are hanging around with, these parties y'all are going to. Like I said, me personally, I just wouldn't be at them. Okay, because there's no amount of money you could pay me to just be in that environment. Because the environment is just, when you're around that many people, that many different spirits, and then they're drinking, like it's a recipe for a disaster. But if you're still going to go there, then you need to be mindful and use wisdom and proper judgment. Okay, and that's, like I said, for the people, for people in general, okay? You got to be mindful. You got to protect yourself out there because there's some bad people out there. But anyways, this really disturbed me and it made me very upset whenever I saw this on the internet. Y'all got to be careful out there. Anyways, y'all tell me what y'all think and how y'all feel respectfully down in the comments below.